Captain Howell. Do you
Welcome back,
require my
Rook.
assistance?
Looks like you got a new toy for me. Go on in and give everyone the lowdown. We'll take care of things from here.
Head on in. We'll take the ship to another port so Jazz can have a look.
That's a real nice ship you brought in. I can't wait to tinker with it. That's a real nice ship you brought in. I can't wait to tinker with it.
Yeah, they don't have much else to
So
say
there I
outside
am.
of that.
You see security on my tail, and my grav drive just chokes. And you know what I find back?
I mean, it is a pretty... I don't know, I think it looks kind of lame. I think it's just the puke green color that it is. It's kind of off-putting. Like, this one's way cooler, because it's got the padding and shit. I much prefer this thing. It's got, like, proper boots to it, and, like, a leather look and knee pads and shit. Oh, dude, it's so much cooler. The helmet I can probably live with. That's a pretty cool helmet. Oh, yeah, let me change my outfit. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to dump back, that's for sure. Yeah, plenty of outfits we've stumbled upon.
Bog's grog is fine if you like cheap moonshine. Give me an early run.
So I gotta go to the Nova? Who am I talking to here? Oh yeah, Juan said she'd be at the Nova, right? Guess we gotta talk to Juan. And she's wearing a gross Crimson Fleet outfit now instead.
Nice to know Neva was right about you. It's good to have a promising rookie with the fleet.
Neva vouched for me. Really?
Surprise? Neva talks tough, and frankly, she is tough. But she's not a machine.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you.
I won't deny I helped. Let's hope the compensation reflects that, huh? Anyway, I believe I owe you a drink. It's the last time I'm paying, of course. Because if Delgado's right about Crix's legacy, you've earned more than your fair share already with that comm spike.
Did Delgado clue you in on the comm spike?
Yeah, and I had to feign my surprise to make sure I didn't rat you out. But thanks for trusting me with that info all the same. Us rooks have to stick together.
Crix's legacy is as good as ours.
Sounds like you're on board as a true believer. I have to admit, the way things are going, I'm starting to believe myself.
It looks like everyone's starting to buy in. Well, stealing. Pirates don't actually buy anything.
Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Now that you've had your drink and my debt is paid, it's time for you to give Delgado the good news.
If you need credits,
Oh.
hit up the mission board.
Certainly. Let's talk about something else. How did the Crimson Scar become the Crimson Fleet?
After I busted out of the lock, I decided to take things to the next level. I had the key, a few UC ships, and a couple dozen ex-cons at my side. But I needed more, so I sent out the call. Once word got around, it didn't take long for freelance pirates from every corner of the settled systems to show up.
And this is how the Crimson Fleet was born.
Exactly. The key became our base of operations. We spent months reinforcing our position there, making it nearly impossible to approach.
What was the UC's response to the situation?
First of all, UC Security gave up and handed the reins over to the big guns, the UC Navy. The Navy, in turn, sent ships to attack the key. I'd say there have been 3 major attacks over the last few years. And as you can tell by the fact we're having this interview, all the attacks were embarrassing failures.
Do you feel these embarrassing failures led them to form UC Systems?
Absolutely. They've clearly given up and decided to shove the responsibility onto a separate division. That way, in the public eye, the UC Navy can move forward, proud and strong, while UC SysDef continually takes all the blame. It's all about PR spin for them, Gale. That's how the UC operates. Kinda disgusting, don't you think?
Sounds a bit like you're trying to deflect attention off the atrocities the Crimson Fleet commits on a daily basis.
Atrocities, huh? How about fighting the Freestar Collective over a bunch of rocks hanging in space? How about thousands of people dying while a bunch of pencil-pushing bastards sit in a cushy office and draw lines on a star map? Maybe the United Colonies should stop the bullshit and take a hard look in the mirror to see who the monsters really are.
You're gonna wear yourself out if you carry all this stuff.
Yeah. I really don't like Crix. Like, he's... I understand when he talks about the UC and the colony wars and all that shit, but, like, he's so fucking full of shit. Like, he really is. Like, nothing he says is correct in that regard. Because he's like, oh yeah, we go around and kill people for money and shit, blah blah blah, but what do you guys do? Like, we're killing people for a right to live where we live, right? You're just killing for greed. Sometimes just for fucking the fun of it. How is that better? Literally worse. Neva?
We'll have better get a move on before Dale sees you slacking.
Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the Comspike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
The Comspike was built into the ship, so didn't really have a choice. Where's my ship?
Don't worry your pretty little head about your damn ship. We had it brought back here safe and sound. Now pay attention. Dale went out of his way to tell you how impressed he was. You just gonna leave him hanging like that?
The Comspike was built into the ship, so I didn't really have a choice.
Should have taken the compliment, Rook. Dale doesn't give those out often. Juan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She gave you some really high praise. Said you were a pro.
And from what I hear, receiving praise from Juan Dayu is quite an accomplishment. All in all, a job well done. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have 2 of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end to the other. Comspike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted. All right. That leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that powers the city. We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannock 4.
Sure. I'm sticking my neck out here based on a guess.
It's all we got. Now you are part of this job, so deal with it. Besides, I've learned never to question Jasmine's talent.
Okay. What's the conduction grid?
It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
Well, I have faith that Jazz can get that tech to work.
You damn right she can. My girl. can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, neighbor. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
You get to meet up with the lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash.
I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
No, no, no. There is no getting along here. You are going to do everything she asks. Follow her instructions to the letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
Technically, we already answer to you, but point taken.
And if you fail me here, you will not like the answers I give.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Sauvage's place. I'd say don't keep her waiting, but chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us, so I want you focused. We are one step away from Crix's legacy, and we cannot afford any screw-ups.
Okay. Yeah, proceed to the UC Vigilance. So before we do that, I want to dump off all my junk that we picked up from that little escapade. Who the fuck's shooting? Also captain's quarters, huh? Oh, that's what this part is. Right.
Yeah?
So I did a quick little bit of research on exactly where the evidence was for this mission. Apparently, there's only two pieces. The one I found, and then the other one for Juan is just sitting at Kay's place. So, I guess we'll go pick that up as soon as we can. Assuming I'm back in my own ship? At least I'd hope so.
Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
So let's go back to Jemison. Where's this? See the UC Vigilance. Why is it constantly moving? Now it's in fucking the Procyon system. It's so weird. So strange. Let's hit the lodge first, drop all our shit off. Can I get in the well from here? Shit, did I just crash the game? Son of a bitch. Yeah, that thoroughly hard crashed the game, opening the surface map right there. That was, that kind of sucks. But we'll just reload real quick. Man, why is it taking so long to reload this? That kind of scares me. So we're looking for Kay's place. Where the fuck is that? This ain't Kay's place. Should be over this way. Yep, Kay's house. Here it is. Supposedly it's just sitting on a table. But I'm not seeing anything of the sort, and that's a little concerning. I hope it didn't, like, despawn or something.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here.
Always nice to see a fresh face around here.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
When did you stop flying the Swan, anyway?
When the cargo became more valuable than the ship.
True. The fleet's got us real busy these days, and we are making good money smuggling all this contraband. But if any time was the right time for a break...
Hey, there's still work to do. I need to check with my contacts at the spaceport and find out what guards are on rotation when we leave port. Then it's back to the key to make sure Delgado gets his cut, and to make sure he hasn't cut us out. I worry sometimes that being in New Atlantis, we're missing out on the big scores. I know that old dog has something big planned. I can feel it.
Sheesh, that is a lot to think about. And here I thought the pirate life was carefree.
Maybe for some people, but that's not how I work.
Well, you feel free to plan our next moves from now to the new year. I'm all about living in the present and being where your feet are.
That's fine. Just make sure to wipe those feet before boarding my ship.
Wow. I'm assuming that authorization Aegis Agent Plato. I'm assuming the pilot recorded that like a fucking moron in case... I mean, not a moron, he definitely did that
You know, I went to chef
intentionally as a means to cover his own tracks. But like, man, that's fucking devious shit if he did. Alright, let's hit up Procyon B. I don't think I've been to Procyon B. I've been to Procyon A. Yeah, I've not been here. Whoa! Is this like a proper-ass dwarf star? Like, that's a white dwarf. I haven't yet to see one of those. Dude, that's fucking cool.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
How's the pirating business? Mole.
The classified star station you mentioned. Was it SY-920?
Yeah, it was. And you can probably guess what project it was for.
Mind if I ask you some questions about SY-920?
Yeah, I thought you might. I heard the fleet sent you up there for some more pirate work. Even more impressive, you managed to do it without taking any lives. Maybe I misjudged you. That's more than I can say for myself, given the history of Project Archangel.
What was that project about?
We were testing prototype fighter ships. Experimental engines, weaponry, the works. The four of us were the best of the best. Emphasis on the were.
How'd you get involved in the project?
I was one of 4 pilots recruited for the program. My codename was Azrael. At the time, I embraced the name. The Angel of Death hunting Crimson Fleet pirates in a prototype ship. But even for an angel, pride always comes before the fall.
There must have been some reason you're no longer on the project. I mean, I already know
The
why.
official word is I was transferred back to SysDef because the need was great. The reality is I was kicked off the unit. I was so bored on that station, I spent all my time in the barracks drinking cases of smuggled booze. When the time came for my test flight, I was so wasted, one of the others had to cover for me. The engine caught fire right after takeoff. Pilot, crew, gone in a flash.
I found proof of fraud and systemic cuts to safety and security. It wasn't your fault.
Is that right? I guess that lets me off the hook with the jailers, but not with the judge upstairs. I appreciate what you're trying to do, though. Just give me some time to process it.
Commander Ikande's so decorated, you could play a game of checkers with all the medals on his chest.
Interesting how I just found Batman exists.
I had the record for fleet kills.
And now I can actually, you know... There's even a SysDef mission board. Oh, only UC SysDef officers.
Word
oh,
is you had to
okay.
steal classified tech from a UC station. I hope the commander knows what he's doing.
Do you have anything to report? It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process.
How is Mass reacting to this whole thing?
As you probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier.
Well, given that it was a UC station, I thought it best not to hurt anyone.
And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
No thanks needed. We're just doing what anybody would do.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report.
What do you mean, time is short?
With the acquisition of the comm spike, the fleet is one step closer to Krix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the comm spike.
Well, a cargo ship captain named Juan Dayu helped me get on the station. Will we be arresting her?
That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
Right. Well, Delgado has Jasmine Durand working on the comm spike.
Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem?
The Bannock 4 problem?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. Your ship will need special protection to ensure the electromagnetic disturbances in the planet's atmosphere don't fry your circuits.
Yeah, he believes Generdyne's conduction grid in Neon is the key.
The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
That's the case. Inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake.
What embarrassing mistake?
The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the Lock, touched off by Jasper Crix, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and Mast will authorize an all-out assault.
Aren't you concerned that the fleet is getting close to Crix's legacy?
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk.
Well, I'm pleased they're finally taking you seriously.
It's long overdue. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
What can I do for you? Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find.
Well, I do have some evidence.
Nice work. Let me take a look.
This recording is about the comm spike. It shows that the UC's got some internal issues going on.
Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mast right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Find anything else?
This evidence is about Juan Dayu. Should put her away for a long time.
Finally. We've been tracking the Jade Swan for almost a year, but Captain Dayu's somehow remained one step ahead. Every time we've scanned that ship, it's come up empty. Well, she's not going to skate away this time. Nice work. Have any more?
That's all I got for now.
Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more.
Feel like telling me how your time in the well relates to your past experiences with the fleet?
Yeah. I figured it was only a matter of time before this came up. The reason I didn't bring up the Crimson Fleet is, well, I was one of them. It's something I'm not exactly proud of.
Does Commander Akande know about this?
He knows quite a bit about my journey. But I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention this conversation to him.
What? Is that why you're so good at monitoring the fleet?
I know a great deal about how they operate, what frequencies they use, their encryption techniques, their methods. So, in short, yes.
So we share common ground.
Common ground, but not a common beginning. I was recruited out of New Atlantis by Neva Mora. She said I was making a name for myself, and it caught the fleet's attention. I was thrilled. It was a chance at bigger and better scores and gave me a ticket off-world. Why the heck would I say no?
Why did Neva choose you?
I raised hell on New Atlantis until someone stood up and took notice. And just like Adler Kemp stuck his neck out and vouched for you, someone else in the fleet did the same thing for me. In fact, it was my idea to send you to Sidonia for your first, well, I suppose you call it a mission.
Well, I doubt you had a choice.
Even if I had, I was ignoring the potential repercussions. They took me in. Delgado ran me through the paces on Suvorov, and before I knew it, I was part of the team. Now I was making some serious money. That apartment I boasted about in New Atlantis became a joke. I even made enough to buy my own ship.
What happened when Delgado brought you down to Suvorov?
What do you think? It's a giant ice ball. I froze my behind off. We spent a while exploring the surface near the lock, while Delgado laid out his spiel about honor among thieves and all that nonsense. Never got a look inside the facility like you did.
Well, it sounds like you were living your best life.
I would have agreed with you back then, but when I think about it, I feel like I'm living my best life right now. Everything changed thanks to Commander Akande. The man basically saved my life. I owe him everything.
Well, he seems to have a knack for changing people's lives.
You don't even know the half of it. Look, I've already said too much. I promised Commander Akande I wouldn't talk to anyone about this. All you need to take away is that I've literally walked a mile in your shoes, and I appreciate the risks that you're taking. Carry through with this mission. I promise you I'll be there every step of the way. We'll be here if you need us.
Hey.
Let's go talk to what's-her-name downstairs.
I would love to be undercover. It's fun to roleplay, I think. Oh, how did your last mission go? I hope it wasn't too hard on you.
What can you tell me about the conduction grid?
Do you want to know about the conduction grid? Really? It's so old. From before old, honestly.
How can something be before old?
Well, you know how a watch can be very old, but a sundial is even older than that? It's from before old. The conduction grid is kind of like the sundial. It's ancient.
Well, I need to know about the tech for a mission. The fleet will think it'll help penetrate Bannock 4's EM storms.
Oh, that is very interesting. In robotics, we also try to avoid voltage surges due to the damage it can cause to the circuits. Anyway, if I recall correctly, the grid converts energy from lightning strikes into power for the city. Literal lightning in a bottle. It's a very unique solution to a standard problem. See you soon!
I wouldn't want to be there at mast when the commander has to explain taking the comm spike. Hope this is all worth it.
Yeah, Jesus.
I haven't seen my family in a
And
while. Mission takes priority.
I suppose we should go take a look
Petrosian's a real neat freak.
over in the jail cell.
Heard you have. Some of the guards don't take until next time. There you are. I was wondering when you'd visit. Should give us a little time to catch up.
Chasing the legacy. They're doing things the FC never even.
I'm surprised you're taking this so well.
You're just saying that to take.
Well, of course. What choice do I have? Thanks to my own stupidity, my second chance to return to the Crimson Fleet is long gone. And by the time I get out of prison, any hopes I had to return to that life will have fully disappeared.
You would have been better off remaining a Starliner captain.
Yes, well, apparently that's off the table as well. Trident tends to shy away from rehiring convicted felons. Well, anyway, glad you popped by to say hello. Now, if you wouldn't mind letting an old man get his rest, I'd appreciate it.
I assume Trident is pressing charges?
Oh, yes, quite aggressively. The illegal team will very likely grind me into the dirt, and there isn't much I can do about it. The amusing thing is, I don't even think they care very much that the heist went down on their ship. That's a given risk for them. I think they're more embarrassed I was able to gain the position as captain of the Siren under false pretenses in the first place.
Mind if I ask about your arrest?
After getting set up on the key, I traveled to a few settlements to find a base of operations. I was looking for a place that would allow me to pick up information about juicy shipments for the fleet to jump on. When I stopped at Gagarin, SysDef was on the ground waiting for me instead of that contact I was expecting to meet. Your friend Toft really pulled the wool over my eyes.
Well, I did you a favor putting you in here. Because SysDef's taking the fleet down.
So you're saying I should be happy that you took me out of the line of fire? I have to confess, I never thought of it that way. Last thing I intended to do with my life was go out in a blaze of glory on Neva or Delgado's behalf. But at the same time, my freedom's gone, so I'm not exactly popping the cap off the vodka bottle and celebrating either. You really pulled a number on me, Agent. Well done.
And I'm assuming we're probably gonna see, what's-her-name in here as well pretty soon, unfortunately. That sucks, because I actually liked her out of all of them. Right, Yevgeny is cool because I'm pretty sure it's Ulfric's voice actor. That's the only reason I thought Yevgeny was cool.
Hello.
But yeah, it actually kind of sucks that Juan's gonna get fucked up like that. I didn't really intend for that to happen. It just sort of happened that way.
We're free and clear for flight.
Nevertheless, I do believe
Sometimes
it is...
I just want to turn off the grav drive so we can...
Let's see. Yeah, so the next thing is going to be this one. But I think we're going to save that for next time, because we have
I don't know about you, but a fella could do a
very
lot worse than
thoroughly
Constellation.
done up this
Boy,
entire
important
thing.
or not, I'm ready to listen. I'm glad you're back. Let's get moving.
Sarah! Sarah, good to see you again, my dear friend. I expect to hear some exciting tales when you two return.
I'll try, but I doubt any of them will compare to the spectacular tales that we hear you spin. If I can help you with anything, just say the word. Leaving? Oh, I see how it is.
And let me see. Is Andreja on the ship? No, she's unassigned. Why? Odd, I can't even assign her to the ship if I wanted to. That's kinda... dumb. Oh, it's because I have to unassign Sarah. And then I can assign Andreja. Or not. Oh, you know why? It's because we're in space. That's why. Well, I'll have to remember to do that when we come back. For now, I'm gonna put back on my traditional outfit. And I think we'll pick this up next time, and we'll finally get started on the UC mission. And I guess we'll see what else that unlocks, but we'll be doing 2 of those, and then maybe just... Oh yeah, we've got all those whatchamacallits to collect too, those powers and the artifacts and shit. Yeah, we've still got a bunch of stuff to do. Yeah, so we'll probably be doing that next time. We made a lot of progress in this session, that's for damn sure. We really blew through some stuff there. But yeah, we'll be picking that up in the next set of episodes, so I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.